guess I'll go fuck myself. It's sick.
Don't ignore all that. Just do that, thanks. Don't go over there.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex as usual, and today I have a brand new purchase. This is my Hyundai Coupe, or Tiburon, as they call it in America and everyone else. It is a nice coupe, has some nice speedy wheels on it, has some nice rust in the back, the rear window, the wiper delete. So I paid $800 for this car. It runs and drives. I did 2.5 hours in the pissing rain. We have oil, we have power steering, we have a car that is relatively well put together. It's a good running car. Car runs really well. So I did a little test on the freeway. Entering it does 0 to 100 in about 8.5, 9 seconds, which is much faster than the Impreza. This one does 11 seconds. It is a slower vehicle, but both of them are 2 liters. This is obviously a dual overhead cam, 16 valves. Really nice package. Sounds nice. No real complaints, except for one small problem I have with it. I have a lot of play. Second gear has smashed into there, which broke that, so I'll have to find a new piece for this. But otherwise, the car is pretty much complete. It's a 4-seater, you can sit 4 people in the back, you know, it's got everything you need. You have 372,000 kilometers. We'll say 375,000 kilometers for the sake of it. The idea is to get down here where the shifter linkage is. That's my main concern. There is a very, very worn bushing. First thing we're gonna do is take the air box off, have a suss of the bushing, see how the bushings are, and then I'll take some measurements, go home, 3D print some stuff, and then be back here probably tomorrow. That's sick. People are staring at me like I'm fucking psychotic. Bingo bongo, your grandma's bongo, I don't know. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and just loosen this little clamp up. Sick, thanks.
Come off! Oh yes, coming off! Oh my god!
Cause I go fuck myself. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, I'm gonna have to take that off, and I'll take this off and we'll reconvene in a second. Yeah, sick. Sweet, we'll put that in the parts pile for now. This is all brand new to me. I've never taken apart a front wheel drive car. But yeah, look at that bush in there. Like, look at how much play there has to be in that. All right, so I've had a look, and see this? Look how much play there is there. And there's also up and down play. That's up and down. This is left to right. This is up and down. So there is some movement there. I just took the 2 clips off because I just wanted to have a suss at, you know, these bushings, and this one seems okay. It is definitely dry rotted, like it's coming apart. See? So it's coming apart. But this one here, the fuck happened there? What the fuck? But that just translated that type of movement. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll go home, 3D print something for the car. I'm currently measuring the bearing at home, the bushing at home. I burnt the other one off because the other one was like knackered. There was no reusing it. So I just burnt it up with that, dropped it onto the floor, and all that stuff just popped off. You know, give it a little quick sand, a little wash because it was boiling. And now I'm going to use that as a centerpiece for the new bushing. I'm going to use the Flash Forge M5 to using TPU. All right, so this is the next day. I've gone home and printed some 3D bushings. As you can see, believe these are 20% insert. If these work, I'm going to go ahead and print 100% insert, but they're basically printed in 2 pieces. So yeah, I've printed 2 versions, one with a 1.8mm lip, and then another one with a 2mm lip. You can probably maybe tell the difference. Oh shit. I bought the little lighter from home so we can melt the around here and just get the little bushing, the little insert inside that we want. This car smells inside. It's actually disgusting. Like these cigarettes. Grab all the tools. Maybe gloves is a good idea because it's black. I don't want to get, you know, my hands dirty. But yeah, it's just this and then that. You just burn it until it starts to catch on fire. All right, I'm gonna use the 2mm. Sick, yeah. So I've got this one. I'm just gonna insert this. Cool. Back a little bit. There we go. Sweet. All right. So see how? Fuck me. So I got half the bushing on there, and we got this going onto the other side, and we'll put the bushing on the other side. See how it's in there? 2 bushing halves. Yeah, it was a really tight fit, so I had to like push the washer back quite a bit. It'll really be an issue, so we'll feel how it feels. I'm not gonna expect anything crazy out of it. I just am not. There is still that much play in gear, but left to right feels nice. Like it's a nice end stop. Left as well, nice end stop. Yeah. When you go in gear, you feel the gear. Like you definitely do feel the gear a lot more. Like you torque, you know, it's like torque. You definitely do feel it a lot more. This is already a much nicer experience. These linkages here, see how it's like hella loose? With our aim to try and make this cable as long as possible, because the longer you push it in, the more it forces this to pivot that way. All right. From the factory, I've looked online, from the factory, you shift really low. I don't know why, but they shift hella low. And what happens is, right? What happens is when you're in second gear, that piece there smashes into that piece right there, right? We've changed it so it doesn't happen, but I'll never understand why it was done that way. My main concern was this left to right. I think we just need a short shifter for this. There's nothing you can do about it. And also this shifter was disgusting. Another thing I need to sort out is this clutch. This clutch is, look at how much. It's just very, very soft. Nothing I need to sort out. Look how much play that has. Look at how much play this has. That ain't normal. There's some screws in there that I can put in, which is good. There's also these I need to find something for, like, I don't know. I need to find some sort of grommet that can fit in there, or I might 3D print a grommet. I don't know. And I also need to fix up window wipers as well. Window wipers are kind of really ass. That's not enough. This window wiper needs to go all the way here. When it was pissing down rain, it would occasionally go all the way up here, but it just doesn't. I don't know why.
So I've been doing some reading on old forums, and I found this from 2012. Found it from 2015, and it's a guy who's swapping in the Beta 2 to the Beta 1 transmission. I'm not even sure what it is, but what you can do is you can get the you can replace with the newer style Tiburon, the actual Tiburon shifter from I think like what 05. So I'm looking at like the self-serve, and they've only got automatics, which sucks ass. So these guys don't have it. These guys again automatic as well. So I have to keep trying to find. Or I found the shifter assembly, which with these ones you can actually get a cheap short throw. It's literally just a kit. It's just a little metal rod, and you just plop that inside of there, and you can short shift it. So that's the plan going forwards. I'll try and find that to short shift it. And all right, I moved into the warehouse now. I am gonna go back to the original shifter for now. I want to get this car roadied. I want to get this car on the road. I want to get it driving. I want to make it look nice. Tires are flat, so the main thing I want to start fixing is this rust that's formed here. Someone already tried. You can see all the holes there from the previous repair, which went to shite. All of that's been removed. So I'm gonna have to remove all of this seal. I'm gonna have to buy some new seal online. I've also bought the adapters for it, which are here, which adapt to the updated style, which is the hook style, the Japanese style, which everyone seems to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that, start working on the rust. Remove that. There we go.
There must have been rust in the past, which is all this nice bubbly stuff. And they just put layers upon layers upon layers of Bondo. I don't know how far this Bondo goes. So whoever had worked on this prior didn't put all the clips or screws back in, because this is half falling down. There's just this screw here that's holding it in. It's also not, the screw's also not really doing much. Sick. Oh, beautiful. Okay, cool. You can literally not get, okay. Look what that done. A bunch of silicone in the past. Yeah, we've got rust forming there as well. Which is in there, that's wonderful. But yeah, now I have to go in there and take all of that crap out. Sick. Doing a little bit more of digging with a knife, as one does. I was carving away layers, and if you can tell, there's a bit of rust here. So I think this rust continues all the way down into the hatch down there, which isn't exactly particularly good. Yeah, you can probably see it there. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep on peeling this away. The rust actually continues back down there. So I think I'm gonna have to carve all of this stuff out and assess what's going on underneath there, and then filling all of this up with new Bondo, which is definitely not going to be fun, but I guess it just needs to be done. I'll keep carving away at this and come back with a couple of updates. Carving a little bit more, and this all was rust, which I just removed with a blade. So I'm just going to take as much of this as possible so I can get underneath here and just have a proper look at the amount of rust, because yeah, I mean, yeah, you can tell. I want to get underneath there and like remove as much as I can of rust from the inside, spray it, or at least like dab on with some cardboard the rust stuff we've got down there, and go from there. I ideally don't want this to rust any further, because this is just, I'm gonna have to redo this over and over again in the next couple of months. I already know how this works. I cracked this. I cracked it. I put some leverage into that little hole, put it against there, and bam, off it goes. $450 worth of glass. I'm gonna keep carving away at this. I'm gonna take all of this off, all this old Bondo out. I'm gonna do the rust repair, and then I'll call the guys. Then I'll remove this. I'll just store it in here. Thank the Lord that this happened when we have somewhere. And I'll get this sorted over the weekend with a guy. Yeah. It's not like I already have to repair that one over there. Great God. Alright, so been here for a week or so. I started to convert most of the rust that's there. So you're supposed to let the stuff dry. This stuff here, Rain-X Rust Buster. And all you do is basically just spray, let it dry. And once it dries, you're supposed to coat it with a non-zinc, but an oil-based primer or coating or whatever. I've got a great primer that's made for this stuff right here, so should be good. Also, say if your surface starts going white or anything like that, you're supposed to wipe it up. This is my damp cloth, as they said. Been using it to get at wherever the stuff goes. I got scared for a second because I thought there was rust in here and stuff like that. I used my boroscope, which is down there, had a look around, and everything inside of here looks good. Pretty confident that most of this has been converted. For example, that rust right there needs to dry, so a bit of a waiting game, unfortunately. But you know when you're an idiot and you lick your finger that's full of this rust stuff? What? That was not a lovely taste at all. Ew. I want to show you what was inside of the hatch with their rust repair job. With this stuff here. To me, this looks like liquid nails to me. I think it's liquid nails. And they just absolutely filled this area up here with it. There is still, if I can get it, there is a massive chunk in there. I don't know if you can see it. Still present in there. I can't smash that out. I mean, of course, damage to the inside of it there, as you can tell. So I'm gonna have to sand that down, putty all of this to make that flat. I've been going at it, and it just will not break. I've used chisels, hammers, everything, and it just refuses to break. I can't get it to break. I genuinely can't. So my solution to this whole rust thing is logically rust buster, because I physically can't get in there with any brushes, stuff like that. I can't get in. And there's a lot of rust hidden between the pinch weld, so I'm just going to use that. Should be a semi-temporary permanent solution. And then I'm going to use some foam expanding filler. Why, you may ask? Because I can't weld. I've never welded. I've welded once in my life and I made a mess. Not a welder. I don't think that's in weld. It's too thin of a metal, so I'm going to fuck it up. So yeah, it's not going to be fun. I'm probably just going to put another piece of metal there and potentially weld here, or like drill out some holes and just fill that with weld potentially, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but for now I'm going to wait for this rust to dry, and in the meanwhile I'm going to order some food because I'm hungry. All right, so the plan now is to, most of it is dried up, which is good. The plan is to cut this off and probably cut this off as well while we're here. Once those two are cut off, then I'm going to switch over the disc to the grinding disc and just grind them flat. Got glasses, gloves. I might want to put the respirator on. We'll try with this one first and see how we go. So I've removed all of it. I tried to get one continuous like line if I could, but there were areas where it just catch onto something like here. Here's like really weird what happened there, so I couldn't get my knife in, so I had to like start a couple of times, as you can see. But otherwise, all the glass has been finally removed. Maybe there's a bit, no. Basically all the glass has been removed, and I spotted more rust. So that's another area I need to patch up ASAP. But otherwise, got everything off. Also, if I can get the window down, I am going to go ahead and weld something in there. I mean, just even tack weld over it and see how it goes. That's the grinding job I did. The idea is to cut a piece of this out, put it on top of here, and then just try and weld it together. I forgot to turn the camera on, but this is what I've got. It's a little smiley face. Fits pretty well in there, honestly. Worst comes to worst, I'll just grind a piece of metal down. And now we just have to transfer it over to that. essentially. There we go, that's that. All right, that's the piece there ground down. It's still rust inside, but that's gonna be on the outside so that I can apply the rust stuff on it. All right, let's see how this weld goes. First time like actually doing a welding job, not just fucking around, I think it went okay. Look, this is not a professional job at all, but that is sturdy, much more sturdier than that. So for all intents and purposes, this has been reinforced, which is what I needed. Is it a pretty job? No. I cannot wait to see all the little pinholes and stuff I have. So, you know, the saying goes, the grinder and paint, painting, what's the saying? Painting something makes the grinder I ain't. I'm gonna continue. Not welding, I'm done with welding. This is why I didn't want to try this, because I knew I wouldn't be able to do it. Also, I've caused insuperable damage underneath here, like everything's just welded in there. I've done, yeah, I fucked up. It's a cargo area, who cares? No one really cares back here, but yeah. The main thing is that none of these are damaged, which is the good thing. Paint as well, it's fine, considering that I'm gonna have to repaint the entire thing anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna grind this down, primer it logically. I'm gonna primer the whole of inside because all of this is good to go. I gotta try and get that fucking thing out, but I think I might just give up on that, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna leave it in there, a little souvenir of the past. It's not coming out. The actual thing snapped off inside. The head's gone fucking flying in there, but hopefully I've sprayed enough in there to make sure that no more rust happens. I want to spray some here as well, so I'll do that real quick. I've got another bottle, thankfully, but yeah, that's it there. I might just smear it on like that. Nice. What I've got here is foam fill. I've seen Jetta repairs online. This whole hatch needs to be replaced. I'm not gonna pretend that it doesn't need to be replaced. It definitely does need to be replaced, but for now to get this car on the road and driving and not fucking leaking. Cool, all right. And then we'll just hold that upside down until it comes out, right? Fuck yeah, no. Relax. Alright, I want to install the original shifter back in. In the meanwhile, I will clean the whole area down there. Use the vacuum cleaner as well to clean the area up. I have to figure out how to make that as long as possible. That ideally probably leave it as is and put the center console back in because I took it out to access the shifter properly. So it is the next morning and this is fully dried. So that means I've got to start cutting this off as well. I've also got, I'm gonna have to move the car as well soonish because I've got the guy coming to replace this windscreen here for Christian's car. Thank you so much. All right, so this worked. I just went through it and just kind of did that. Yeah, all right, so now the aim is to just sand it. So I've got this 80 grit sandpaper here, which I'm gonna use to essentially just form the foam to something I can work with. And then once it's formed to something I can work, I'm gonna use this flexi film that I bought from Repco ages ago when I originally painted my car. This is a plastic filler. So due to this being soft, as you can see, I want something that can flex with it as you close it and open and close. I don't want something that's gonna break off or start chipping away. I don't want any of that. So this is the best option I have. So the easy stuff is done for now. Now I need to fill it up with the Bondo, which is this one here, the Flexi Fill. Once that's done, then I have to let it cure logically, and then I have to sand that all the way back down. Oh. You do is just add about that much, I think is the correct amount. Should work. And then you're supposed to mix it in like that. The key is to not get any air bubbles, so you have to grab it and then squish it down. Holy shit, that just became a mess. Sick. Lesson to self, bring the right fucking tools. Whatever. This should be good. And you just smear it on. Holy shit, this is gonna be painful to deal with. Alright, and that's what I've got. Problem is I need more of an edge over here. So I'm gonna sand this all nice and flat and then I'm gonna reapply using, you know, maybe an actual spatula or something along those lines that can help me smooth it out properly. Because that ain't it, Chief. Chief, that ain't it. All right, I've gone way overboard. This is what we have now after that big blob. I've re-sanded down smooth. I did some wet sanding with 400 grit. It's smooth. And I want to use the primer to fill in all those little pinholes that are there. The primer should take care of it. I'm going to attack with the primer from essentially anywhere that's got metal. I'm going to attack with the primer. And then after that, I'll just attack with the color afterwards. Last coat done. It's a nice wet coat. That's it. Let that dry, and then we'll have to attack this with the filler primer. But yeah, now it's time to dry. You can see the pinholes there, the scratches as well. I didn't feather those out at all. I'm gonna let the filler primer take care of that. Another day, another beautiful excuse to be down at the office. L'officina, as I like to call it now. Yeah, that's it. I've given up. I'm sanding the entire panel. I looked up here and I was like, yeah, there's a ton of fucking overspray. I mean, look, we can tell from the old paint. It's got that, I don't know how to explain. The best way I can explain it is with my car. See how it's got those like dimples, but it's not orange skin. It's more so unsanded skin, if you know what I mean. It seems unsanded underneath. So that's what this hatch has. Now this hatch has been worked on by somebody. I don't think it was a previous owner because he bought it and had it for about a year or so. He said he didn't do anything to it other than just oil. But this car definitely was in the hands of someone who was fucking retarded. They've completely, I looked back at the footage and this was bent up like this from day one. From when I was outside on the street on there till today, this has been up. So there was no questions about that. I exaggerated the effect, but it's always been there. So yeah, the entire hatch is getting sanded. The rest of the car will get a really good cut, polish, and we'll call it a day. And most likely I'm gonna go ahead and just sell this car. I might redo the exhaust because those tips look a bit sad. But overall, I think that I'm gonna do all the flushes and oil and gear and all that, and then just fuck it off to somebody because I don't want to keep this car around. I don't know, I'm just kind of sick and tired of it already. I did go after hours, not after hours, but during hours, I did go and get some filler primer right here. This isn't great, this is pretty shit. Unless you like spray it slowly, it doesn't thicken up. Nothing beats the primary surfacer from SCA and just a general Ozito spray gun. That shit lays on thick and dries well. It's not a piece of shit like the can is. You know, if you say fill a primer, make sure it actually fills in stuff, because with that, it fills it in. This has not been filled in. It was a struggle. Here it is. So this is essentially a full can, $40 worth of can. But you know, it's a base coat, it's color spec, it's good stuff, it's not shite. I've decided to sand the entire hatch at this point. I don't have any materials on me, I don't want to go get materials, I want this over and done with. So most likely, I'm just gonna pop the hatch and just go at it like this. Alright, so after that mess was done, I ended up sanding it with 600 grit again. I've decided that I'm going to take the entire hatch off. Yeah, so you've got more rust here as well. This hatch is on its way out. I'm not going to bother too much about it though. So last time I ended up sanding all the 600 grit off of here, all the micro fingers there. And once the hatch is off, I'm going to sand the entire thing off and then just recolor the whole thing and then re-clear coat the whole thing. It's gonna be too much of a hassle to try and keep the car clean and the hatch clean. It's just gonna be too much of a hassle. I'm also very likely just gonna tape up all of this polyurethane because I can't be stuffed sanding all that down now. Like, we're looking at electrical connections that go all the way into there and all the way into here, like that. So, the hatch comes off with 4 bolts right there and there. These just snap out, so you're just supposed to pull them and they snap out. Also, these are oily, so I might need to replace these as well. Electrical connector there that pops out, and I believe there's another electrical connector in here. So I think these get fed through there, through here, and that allows the hatch to physically come off, I think. Nope, that's tightening it. I don't know. I don't know if I can be a fan of them. Like, I've got a 99 WRX, right? So that's like the peak era of Japanese cars. Right, and I understand this is not a turbo, this and that. It is a dual overhead cam engine though, so turboing this thing should be fucking hella fun, which, by the way, is the idea. Holy shit. Well, well, well. All right, so the idea now is if these trucks don't want to fucking make too much noise, we'll get some pallets here. I'll put the hatch on top. I'll sand the hatch with 600 like proper. Once that's done, I'm gonna try and spray all the fucking dust out of here. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna spray it, go get some food. I'm gonna spray it, give it another coat, ideally 3, so very light coat, like a speckled, light coat, and then a heavy coat afterwards, just to see if I get any more reactions like last time. They say that if you spray it too fast, you can get a chemical reaction like I did last time, which is that crinkling spider effect. So let's hope I avoid that, which would be fucking phenomenal. And we'll just put some pallets on here while we're at it. All right, that should do it. That's the usual thing. Or here, for the sake. The old urethane that has the old urethane. Give it to someone. Line, it's perfect. It's perfect. Alright, we're back. 5 minutes have passed. Let's see how bad I'm gonna fuck this up. Alrighty, so I went and used basically the entire canvas. There are a couple issues with the paint, like here's a bit of crack in there. I don't have the energy to clean that up, but otherwise it looks really good. So I'm gonna use my last bit of in the can, just spray it in there, honestly. So I'm gonna do one final, just stretch across here, just to make it all uniform, and that's it. This is the one thing that's always got to me with cars, that's always like the gotcha moment with cars, is that anything that I work on works. There's no problems with it whatsoever. Whatever I don't touch just fucks itself. So that's the third and probably final coat. It is glossy, but still you can tell, yeah, you can tell the orange peel. I don't know, that Septone has never been a good clear coat. I had used it once, as a reason I only used it a little bit. It's not good. But look, I did one thin coat and two heavy coats. And I think that once it's dry and you give it a cut, I think it will come out looking decent. So there are some areas where it like really looks nice, but we'll only be able to tell once it's fully dry. I did this off camera because it would have been hell, but I put a broom there and in that hole, so it holds it up. And then by being in here, so one hand here, one hand there, I kind of like Mario jumped into there and then put it onto the feet that I had up. One of the feet was down, which was that one. That was down, this was up. So then using here, and hopefully crying out loud that this wasn't gonna fall, I maneuvered this until I got one nut in there. And then once I got the nut in there, I started threading it really quickly and it finally like bit onto something and went in. I then lifted that side up, did the same thing there. And now they're both in. So I just tightened it up with one of these. You will need one of these ratcheting ones, like 72 feet. You will need it, especially ratchet and an open-ended, because open-ended goes in there and ratchet goes on this side like that. So yeah, the hatch is on, the hatch paint. You can tell on camera, this is way lighter than that, you can tell. Maybe on camera you can't really tell too much, but to the naked eye you can tell that this is not the same color as that. So once the glass is installed, my next step will be taking this fender off and figuring out what's bent down there. I think something's just been pulled out, so I just need to like hammer it back in and it should be fine. So I did this without really showing anything, but I've gone ahead and corrected down here. This was poking out a lot more. It still is poking out a little bit, but I think just a couple punches will fix it. Basically what ended up happening was someone hit something underneath like that. I think it was actually me when I drove off because I heard something on this side. So I think something just came up like that. I'll show you. And I bent all of this out of proportion. As you can tell, this line doesn't follow the underneath, it follows this line. I'm not showing you, I'll show you the other side as well. It should be similar, but I ended up just punching this in. I just bended it in and out until I could get these two bolts in semi-aligned. As you can see, it's been pushed in, because you can tell from the line up there of the old metal. And yeah, now it's sitting correctly. I think this panel gap is a little bit too wide. This is what the other side looks like. Panel gap is slightly smaller. It still comes out, but those are where the original bolts are. Alrighty, just returned from Super Cheap. I got some touch-up paint, needed that. I got some good old gear oil. I got some brake fluid, 4 spark plugs. These are the upgraded versions, or just the Platinum FX. Yeah, there they are, FR30X. And then a 13-litre oil drain pan, because I can just do the car's oil and the gearbox oil all together, and that should be roughly 7 litres. So 13's plenty, I can just leave it in. I've got the castor oil upstairs, bought that, which is the correct one for the car. It's what Super Cheap says on the website. I also have an oil filter upstairs. So before I did anything, I wanted to like triple check. This is your drain. That is your fill port. Not that one. That one's your fill port. You should be able to see enough. Okay. Ow. Alrighty. How's that? Can't wait to see how black this transmission fluid is. Is there no transmission fluid? Okay. It's not too bad. It's a bit brownish. Nothing crazy. Oh, there we go. I'll let it drain like that. Nah, it doesn't look too bad. Car's been cared for. There we go. I don't have my pump with me. Well, I thought I brought it. I don't have it, so I don't know where it is. Also, I am glad that we did this. Like, it's black. Like, it's goldenish black, but it stinks. It stinks of burnt. And you can tell, look how black that is there. I put what I think is 2.1 liters in. It was very painful. My right hand hurts a lot. These two fingers hurt a lot because of all of this. Anyway, so now we'll do the oil. Oil change will be pretty quick, shouldn't be anything crazy. I'll put some new gloves on because I took the old ones off because some of it went up my hand. Gloves on. And now we'll go ahead and just do the oil change real quick. We'll need this. Ugh. And we'll need that. And then the oil filter is over there. Alrighty, so oil filter is absolutely filthy. How can I show you better? So there's just a lot of sludge on it. I don't know why it's so bad. Oh yeah, there's all the sludge. This seems to be coolant that's been running down collecting, but it seems to be coolant. Okay, good. At least the oil filter spins on and off very easy, which is good. So I'm just going to leave that like that so it doesn't leak all too much. And we'll attack the oil, which is right there. I took the oil cap off for the first time to let it drain more. Yeah, it's really sludgy. That's a lot. That's actually like sludge. So this car's oil hasn't been changed in a while. The oil is black, and it also smells like fuel, which is not a good sign at all. Put this castor oil in for now, In the next 2,000 Ks, I'm gonna do an oil flush, another oil change, flush and then oil change. I do my oil changes every 5,000 Ks. That car is 1,000 kilometers over and I'm shitting myself. I checked the oil the other day and it's like goldenish, which is fine, but that's what you want your oil to be like when you change it. You want it to be golden, not black, because if it's black, it's been there for way too long and it just isn't doing its job anymore. So yeah, you can see it just drip out, it's black. Like it's genuinely actually black. Like it's not black from view, but it's black just itself. Is like I put it the oil, you know when you put the drain plug in the oil and when it's flowing down, it usually looks a bit like goldenish, fully black. So this hasn't been changed in a while, which is why we're doing it. Going in with the good stuff, Ryko, you know, a real oil filter, not a fucking Cooper oil filter. Oil filter install was a mess. I got brake cleaner all over me. There was so much gunk behind the oil filter that I had to spray. So imagine this is the oil filter top where you screw it into. Behind here there's so much gunk. So I just like clean all that gunk off and it got all in here and I just had to spray it all down. It was a mess. But I got it all clean. It's on, it's tight, hand tight. So now we just need to fill it up. I just gotta figure out how many liters have to go in here and we'll be sweet. All right, it says 4 liters to fill it up with. I don't know how much we've used. I'm just gonna put, this is what, 5 liters. So I'm gonna put, fuck, we already used half a liter. Anyway, I'm gonna put up to the 1 liter mark and I'll check with the oil dipstick and we'll see. Can I get this in one shot? Kinda. Cool, says we're full. All right, so this is the clutch reservoir. And as you can see, that's very low. It's not good. I'm gonna go inside and just flush all the old fluid out. So it's just a bottle and you just use your foot. It's magnetic, wow. Alrighty, it's already got some clutch fluid in there. I've just cracked it open, as you can see. I've pumped it a couple times. Reservoir's already low. So that means that all the fluid is getting drained out. So that means I need to go grab some new fluid, put it in there, and hopefully the clutch will feel a lot better. Good old SCA, cheapest stuff possible. This is not a race car. This is very simply a everyday, this is just a daily car. So that's what it needs to do. So I'll pump the clutch a couple of more times. Oh, fuck is going on there? Oh, it's full. Oh yeah, sick. Isn't this shit like flammable or some shit? Oh no, it's corrosive, I'm pretty sure. I think we're good. I think the system's good. We'll do 5 more. We'll seal it up, and I think the system's good. I ran it dry. I've fucking used the entire bottle again to refill it. I think we're good at this point. Now, I don't see any air bubbles in the system, so we should be good. Should be good. Alrighty, so now we're going to take the spark plugs out. I'm kind of interested to see how the spark plugs look. Man, I could really do with some light here. Whatever, I got this. Pretty sure this whole thing should just... Boom. Nice. Oily. Sick. To get any of these fucking lines off, there is no oil down there, which is good, which means... Hello? Yeah, they're pretty black. Look, nothing too bad, but they are black. That's the spark plug I'm replacing it with. Not only do I have my torque wrench, I've also got my feeler gauge. It's a master feeler gauge. And also have this boroscope thing. It looks, oh boy, that looks like a lot of carbon fill, yeah. You see that cross-hatching there? You see that cross-hatching there? It is, I would say extreme to put it lightly, but very visible. Yeah, no, this engine seems to be healthy, cylinder one at least, ahead. Thankfully, I've never had the problem of cracking a head due to the spark plug, but I would much rather not have that problem. Anti-seize goes a long way. Then, okay, let's just set to 28. Please. Thank you. And just double check. Thank you. Done. That's it. Spark plug number one, done. You may be wondering, check compression. Brother, the car fucking runs. I don't want to fuck with it. As you can see, that's oil. That's like fresh oil, right? And it's like leaking all around there. It's also leaking somewhere down there. So this timing belt is apparently brand new, and I mean it kind of does look brand new, not gonna lie. Also, how is this a dual overhead cam if it's only got one cam? Wait, what? Now that we have a game plan as to what's been done, I know for a fact that not much needs to be done. I am gonna fill this car up in the next video with a full tank of 98, put some petrol cleaner in it, probably do like a double dose just to absolutely clean these injectors out, because I don't think any cleaning, injector cleaning has ever been done on this. Probably a good idea to do it just because, you know, it's an older car. On top of that, I'm also gonna be installing the glass. Thankfully, I'm gonna install the glass, I'm gonna get that Saturday. And then we're also gonna redo the rocker cover gasket as well to give us a good look at how the cam and everything looks. We're gonna be giving the car entire cut and polish, so it makes it look mint. Once that's done, we're gonna put all the interior, we're gonna clean it, deep clean, we're gonna, you know, spray it, color it, this, that. And then hopefully register and give it to my sister. Most likely that'll be in the third video. This next video will just be getting it ready for the road. Thank you for having watched. I hope you enjoyed it. Do stick around because I'm gonna get this car back onto the road and making it look mint. It was already on the road anyway, so it doesn't, I'll be surprised if I don't get it on the road. And hopefully if my sister doesn't like it, I can even flip it, which would be kind of flipping cool. So, without further ado, thank you for having watched, and I will catch you in the next video.